see what happens.
About this company for the last few months, so hopefully you've been listening to our little birdie. You got delivery?
Don't move.
This is a union thing.
Oh, Jesus!
Money Monster is directed by Jodie Foster and it stars George Clooney, Julia Roberts, and Jack O'Connell. Basically, the movie is summed up like this. Lee Gates, played by Clooney, is a TV host that talks about stocks, what to buy, what not to buy. Julia Roberts is his producer. One of these stocks basically crashed out of thin air. It's a good stock, crashed, costing over $800 million from people to invest. Something about the algorithm not being correct. Jack O'Connell's character, Kyle, invades this TV show and holds hostage Lee and the film crew that are in there wanting to get answers. So at this point, there's two things that are happening in the movie. Julia Roberts' character is trying to make sure that Kyle doesn't pull the trigger on Lee and explode the whole producing station up, while New York cops are trying to figure out who this guy is, what is his motives. With the movie, right now in 2016, with elections coming up, a movie about Wall Street couldn't be any more timely, especially with the current climate of investing that we have going on. Problem is that when it came to talking about Wall Street, the market, good versus bad, the movie kind of drags. And the problem is this movie, for an hour and 40-minute runtime, it for the most part breezes through. But when we focus on these little timely questions, it doesn't work. What works is the three leads, and it would become a hostage situation film. Whenever it took place inside the producing stage surroundings, it was really fun to watch because there was a lot of tension building up. You didn't know who was crazy, who's agitating who, all the while trying to keep them afloat as this is actually being broadcast live to the world. There are a couple different moments that had kind of like cliche feels, and Jodie Foster, from her directing, just flipped it on us, and I thought it was great. You know, with a movie like this, the acting is top notch. You got Clooney here, who uses kind of like his charm, at first arrogance, then kind of becomes the face of what everyone sees, what we go through, um, like the hysteria, and then trying to find answers. Julia Roberts, hasn't been in a lot of movies, and the last one she was in, Mother's Day, was god awful. Plays the producer really well. Like if she's been in this situation before, which I maybe she has, maybe she hasn't, but the way she tells people how to direct people, not only with staging with the TV, but making sure everyone stays calm, making sure that you do not want to piss off that actual person with the gun and bomb. I thought was pretty cool. Kyle's character is a little bit flat, um, but in the purpose of the story, I actually enjoy him. It's just, yeah, Jack O'Connell, I think, is a pretty fine actor, and I think he's going to have a big career. This one, this movie, more or less, is more about Clooney and Roberts and their chemistry and playing off one another. And like I said, everything that's inside that production stage TV set was fun to watch. Everything outside of it was whatever. It was a by the book number, something that I would see in older 90s films, which isn't a bad thing. I don't ever think that's actually a bad thing. My thing is that um, I wish it was done a little bit better. If you're gonna shove a message down our throats, do it a little more subtle. I'm okay with movies having messages. Sometimes movies are entertainment, sometimes they want to be more. If you want to be more, you know, don't be like this movie or the other movie George Clooney was in, Tomorrowland. Like we all get it. Sometimes Wall Street is bad. Sometimes people take advantage of the poor, and then when it comes to investing, sometimes they're like sharks, take their money, so they lose money, but then the rich keep getting richer. We get it. But there's a fine line that you can walk to making that message heard rather than being stomped in the head every single time. And that is where the downfall of the movie is, trying to convey that message to us. That being said, this film is good enough for me to recommend solely on the acting and all the tension that happens with a hostage situation inside that TV set. Because without that, yes, the movie doesn't work. But when it was in that, that was pure tension. That was pure fun. 90s thrillers that we don't see movies getting made like this anymore. Movies where there's two name stars, little simple plot, and going through. We don't see those anymore. It's either big blockbusters or smaller indie films. The middle tier budget films are starting to become extinct. And even though this wasn't the best, I would encourage more of these films to be made because they are still fun to have. If they took a little bit out of the message or made it more subtle, it would have been even a better film. But it is what it is. My grade for this film is a B. I think you guys should go see it if you guys have a chance. If not, first thing you should do when you can get it digitally to rent or to Redbox. But are you guys interested in seeing this movie? Do you think A-name listers like a Clooney, like a Roberts, can still draw without having a big plot or a big blockbuster? Let me know. I'm on Twitter and at Instagram at JNo11. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.